NKCS Art. Okay, in order to make your Fun with Lines Resist project, at the end it's going to look a lot like this, kind of like a stained glass window once it dries. What you're going to do is decide on some lines. I'm just showing you my lines in black Sharpie so you kind of know what I'm drawing, because you're going to be drawing in white crayon, so you're not going to be able to see my white crayon very well. So I'm going to go ahead and get my white crayon, and then I'm going to start drawing my lines. You can kind of see I'm doing like some spirally lines. I'm going to kind of mix it up. You can make your lines however you want to, just have fun with them. The thicker you make them, the more you'll see them on your paper. So like right now I'm doing this line like really, really thick. Just kind of going back and forth over it to make it a little bit thicker and more noticeable. And then I'm just going to go across my paper and draw my lines. You can kind of see them in person when you're doing your own, but it is difficult to see since it's white on white. After you get all your lines drawn and complete, you're going to take this special tissue paper that bleeds with water. And so basically the color bleeds from this tissue paper onto your paper and stains your paper that color. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your brush and you're going to paint some water on your paper, just a little bit to make the paper stick, and you can kind of arrange them however you want to. Now when you arrange them, you want to just put one piece of tissue paper down at a time. They can overlap a little bit, but you don't want to put like two right on top of each other, or it's just going to kind of mess up your color. Every time I get a few down, I go back and I go over them with a little bit more water on my brush just to make sure they're super wet so that the paint inside of them will leak out and stick to my paper. Now the light colors like this one you probably don't want. They won't show up very well. It's like the white or the super light pink is probably not going to work as well as you want it to. And then when you're arranging them, sometimes like if you're overlapping them and stuff, there's no space left. Sometimes if there's a little white space left, like those little triangles that I have on there of white, it's not going to show any kind of white crayon that you drew underneath there, and there'll be gaps in your pictures. So you can arrange them to where there's no white and they just overlap each other so much that no white is showing through. And then that way you won't have any gaps in your picture. Or if you don't mind the gaps in your picture not showing up some of your white crayon, then that's okay. Notice in mine where I have some gaps and the white crayon didn't show up as good as in other places. When you're done, we're going to just put it up to dry with the tissue paper on it, and then next week they should be ready to look at.